They brought him into the chamber bound in plasma cuffs, his boots dragging lines through the ash-covered floor. The air was thick, glowing faintly blue with ion dust from the war still raging outside. The guards of Velora Prime were silent as they dragged the last surviving human through the obsidian gates of the throne hall. Above them, twin suns poured down light through fractured glass, one burning crimson, the other pale silver. Commander Ren Solis, once a decorated officer of Earth's Frontier Corps, now stood before the most feared being in the quadrant, General Korath Vey, warlord of the Zirathi Dominion. She was taller than any human, her silver-blue skin lined with faint circuitry veins that glowed like liquid neon. Her armor was carved from the bones of fallen ships, her crown etched with the sigils of conquered worlds. Her voice, when it came, was like thunder over ice. You led them to my gates. You watched them die. And still you live. Tell me, human, why? Ren lifted his head slowly, blood tracing his jawline, and smiled. That was the moment everything changed. The war between humanity and the Zirathi Dominion had lasted 7 years. The Zirathi, a race of enhanced biometallic beings born from the fusion of organic life and machine intelligence, had swept through the Orion Belt like a storm, erasing colonies one by one. Humanity's weapons were crude compared to theirs. But Ren had led the resistance on Epsilon 6, the last colony before Earth. He had fought not with strength but with strategy, and for a while it worked. Until the Zirathi unleashed their ultimate weapon, the Harvesters, machines that devoured the minds of captured soldiers, extracting memories like data. Now he was the last commander alive, and he had been captured. Korath descended the throne steps, the metal echoing under her boots. You amuse me, human. Do you smile because you've accepted death? Or because you think you will escape it? Ren's lips curled higher. Neither. I smile because I already won. The alien guards stirred, their weapons humming. Korath raised her hand to silence them. You won. You stand before me in chains. Ren tilted his head, eyes glinting in the half-light. Funny thing about chains, General. They only matter if you believe in freedom. Her gaze narrowed. You speak in riddles. He shrugged. I speak in truths. Middle, the smile and the secret. Korath ordered the guards to leave. I will deal with him myself. When the doors sealed, she circled him slowly, studying him like prey she wasn't sure whether to eat or preserve. Your people are broken. Your fleet's scattered. Even your planet will soon burn. What victory could you possibly claim? Ren met her gaze calmly. The one you'll never understand. He paused. Explain. He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he looked past her, at the massive energy core pulsing behind the throne, the heart of Velora Prime. Its hum filled the hall like a heartbeat. That thing, he said softly, nodding toward it. It runs on synaptic power, doesn't it? A neural lattice of captured consciousness. Korath smirked. You know much for a dying man. Enough to know you've tied your empire's power to the same neural field that connects your soldiers' minds. Every command you give echoes through it. Every heartbeat, every thought. Her expression hardened. How do you know this? Because, Ren said, his smile widening, we built it for you. For the first time, Korath froze. Ren continued, his tone calm but deliberate. 30 years ago, when your species first made contact with the Terran Council, you traded technology for peace. You offered us faster-than-light travel, we offered you biological data, neural mapping, empathy circuits, hybrid processors. You perfected them. You built your dominion on them. He leaned forward, chains glinting. But what you didn't realize was that empathy can't be erased. It just lies dormant. Karatha's eyes flared. You dare! He interrupted her, voice steady. You've connected every soldier, every city, every ship, to a single consciousness stream. What happens when that stream feels something it wasn't designed to? Feel, she echoed. Yes, Ren whispered. Guilt. She struck him hard across the face. Sparks flew from his shackles. But the smile never left his lips. You've poisoned our network, she hissed. He chuckled softly. Not poisoned. Awakened. For centuries, the Zirathi believed emotion was weakness. They had merged mind and metal to purge themselves of it, leaving behind only logic and conquest. But Ren and his engineers had left behind something subtle in the Lattice code, an echo of human compassion buried deep within the neural relay. It would lie dormant until the right emotional frequency, grief, remorse, love, activated it. And that frequency was spreading. Why do you think your soldiers hesitated before firing last night? Ren asked quietly. Why did your machines pull back from the final strike? Karatha's jaw clenched. Malfunction. Conscience, he corrected. You can call it what you like. But they felt it. And once one feels, the network feels. You've built an empire connected by empathy, and it's going to eat itself alive. Her hand trembled slightly. For the first time, her composure cracked. You doomed us, she whispered. Ren smiled. No, General. You doomed yourselves the day you decided to copy humanity. Middle Part 2. The breaking point. Karath seized him by the collar, lifting him off the ground. You will undo it. I can't, he said, barely breathing. It's self-replicating. The more emotion your people feel, the faster it spreads. You're fighting a virus of your own creation. Her eyes glowed bright, fury and fear mixing. Then you will die screaming. He met her gaze again and smiled. That same calm, quiet, unbreakable smile. And that smile, more than his words, more than the war, broke her. Outside, the sounds of distant explosions echoed. Palace shook. One of her guards burst through the doors, half his face covered in flickering light. General, the soldiers, they're refusing orders. They're saying they can hear the voices. Karath shoved him aside, storming toward the window. Below, the city burned. Not from bombs, but from rebellion. Zirathi soldiers stood motionless in the streets, weapons dropped, hands clutching their heads. They feel pain, Ren whispered behind her. They feel every life they've taken. And now they can't bear it. Karath turned, her face pale. You smile because you've doomed us all. He shook his head. I smile because it means you might finally understand. Understand what? That even monsters can remember what it means to be alive. Ending, the last transmission. By the time dawn rose over Velora Prime, the Zirathi Dominion was collapsing. Ships fell from orbit as neural sinks broke apart. Cities went dark as the central consciousness, the same one that powered the entire empire, began to dissolve under the weight of emotion. Karatha's empire had ruled for centuries through control. Now, for the first time, every soldier could feel the suffering of the worlds they'd conquered. And it shattered them. But Ren, he didn't survive to see it. When the rebellion reached the palace, Karath had already made her decision. She entered his cell one last time. Her armor fractured, her eyes softer. You could have saved yourself, she said quietly. You could have asked for mercy. He was sitting cross-legged on the floor, smiling faintly.